Same question. Anybody of you have gone through this week's current affairs? Any one of you gone through this week's current affairs? Do you have any idea? ఎందుకు అందరు నిద్రమొహాలు వేసుకొని ఉన్నారు? Why are you so boring today? What made you to? No idea for you also. Fine. Coming to today's, like this week's current affairs. I've covered some important topics regarding both prelims and mains. I've covered extensively like some of the important things. Like if you study, you may not understand, but I'll try to simplify as much as I can. So just we'll go through this week's current affairs. Prior to this, anyone just you know what are the elections? What are the elections? What you called as elections? Elections and enti? Very basic question. Okay, whatever the thing, not only regarding the parliament, all those things, you elect someone to be a leader, right? You know the basics. So if you do have idea regarding the Rajiv Gandhi returning back to the house, which house? Sorry, what Rahul Gandhi, sorry, not about the ghost of Rajiv Gandhi, I am talking about the Rahul Gandhi. Do you have an idea? He is returning back to his house. What is his house? Lok Sabha. So do you know what are the issue? What is the issue has happened? What is the issue? Defamation. Which defamation? So what is defamation? What is defamation? You are undermining others persons. What you can say self, you have some self thing, right? Ante నీ మనోభావాలని దెబ్బతీసినప్పుడు, so you will feel something, right? So then a person can file a case on you. That is called the defamation. There are two types of defamation. One is criminal and the civil. So according to this, like you know this, Rahul Gandhi had said that why the thieves are all modis. He has given that statement. For the statement, he has got the defamation. See, defamation. No. What you can say? So that is criminal defamation. In that criminal defamation, the Gujarat court has given him a sentence of 2 years. Okay. So for that, he got disqualified from the house. This is the background of the data. So now he got into the house. So recently there is a judgment. The judgment names are very important. Abba Muralidharan versus Union of India case. Okay, this is a recent judgment. Through this judgment only, the court has seen all the provisions. Earlier there is a case called Lily Thomas case. We'll discuss all those things. So I am giving a brief introduction. So through this case, he came through the house. So coming to this, so prior to this, we need to know some basic things. So I have told you the issue, what was happening. So in the constitution, to deal with the disqualification, there are two articles related to it. One is Article 102 and Article 103. Okay. So to that article, we'll see the article. Then I'll connect with the Representation of the People's Act. So why there is a connection with the Representation of People's Act? I think, is it visible for you? So Article 102 of Indian Constitution, disqualification for the membership. A person shall be disqualified for being chosen as and for being a member of either house of the parliament. So what are the things for disqualification? He holds an office of profit. If he is a unsound mind, means what? What it means? Unsound mind means sound చేసుకొని తిరగటమా? What it means? Okay, fine. If he is undischarged solvent means, insolvent means hospital నుంచి discharge అవ్వలేదనా? Okay, fine. So, not only like that, something any of the economical crisis, this financial cases he has on this. If he is not a citizen of India or has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a foreign state, if he so disqualified by under, so this is the very important provision you need to look after. What is the provision here? Last one, under any. So only these things are given in the constitution, right? This is the first mode of defection. Another disqualification. So another mode of disqualification is a person shall be disqualified for being a member of either house of the parliament if he is so disqualified under which schedule? 10th schedule. These are the two things regarding this article 1 or 2. So here comes the picture of under any law. So parliament need to develop a law to deal with these disqualifications, right? So that law is called as Representation of People's Act 1951. Okay. So if you see why there is a requirement of Representation of People's Act, what is the need of the RPA Act? I've told you, right, there are no guidelines has given here. So to try the election defections, whatever the things related to the elections, Election Commission of India is there, you know, right? Article 324 gives the way for the Election Commission of India to deal with that one. So actually you heard the last class, right? What is meant by substantial law and procedural law, if you have something idea. So something should be there to deal with the provisions. For example, election offence is there, voters related data is there, so delimitation of constituencies is there. So all those things will be guided by the Representation of the People's Act. There are two acts, one is 50 and another one is 1951. So generally we will see what are the things related to this RPA Act. So Representation of People's Act 1950, we will see the difference of it, both the 1950 and the 1951. So here it provides for the allocation of seats. This is the first one, allocation of seats in the House of People and in the legislative assemblies and legislative councils. So how the question can be framed in the prelims is, according to the Representation of People's Act 1950, there is only provision for the allocation of seats in House of People and legislative assemblies only. They didn't give legislative councils. They can frame a question like only these two, they can mention only this House of People and the legislative assemblies. They didn't mention this one. So House of Legislative Council are also part of this RPA Act 1950. So first one is allocation of seats. Second one is what? Lays down procedures for delimitation of constituencies. Got it? This is the second provision. The third one is lays down for the preparation of electoral rolls. So electoral rolls. So next one lays down the qualification of voters. So these are the four important things related to this RPA 1950. It means that prior to the election. So there are two things, prior to the election, during election, after election. Prior to the election, something related to the election affairs, whatever, for example, voters is prior to the election, right? Next one is preparing the rolls, it's prior to the election. So next one, what is it? What I've told? Other two, delimitation of constituencies, that is prior to the election. Next one is allocation of seats. Got it? This is the prior to the election. So next, coming to the other important thing is other things dealing with the legislative members of the house and their conduct and their disqualification, everything related to during the process of it. That is dealt by RPA Act 1951. So RPA Act 1951 was passed by the Parliament in accordance with the Article 327 of the Indian Constitution. So just see the silent features of this RPA Act 1951. Conduct of elections, very very important. It is dealing with what? Conduct of elections prior to the elections 1950. Okay, conduct of elections of the House of Parliament and the House legislative of each state. Details about the structure of administrative, very very important. Structure of what are the administrative missions? For example, Central Election Commission is there. Here niche election commissioner, next one state election commissioner, then next ground level RO, returning officer. You heard right these things? What are their roles and all those things will be dealt by this one. Next one, qualifications and disqualifications for the membership of houses. Now our the article is related to the regarding this disqualifications. So next one, corrupt practices and other offences or in connection with such elections, the decision of doubts and disputes arising out of the connections. So next one, by elections, registration of the political parties. So all these things is dealt by which act? RP Act 1951. So there may be a prelims question, they may ask that RP 1951 is dealt with you. They will give some of these provisions and they will include the RP 1951. For example, related to the voters. Voters belongs to 1950. So these difference should be known. Why? Because very important for both prelims and mains, RPA. If you see the 2 years or 3 years, they will ensure for possibly there will be a question on the mains. So we'll see, we'll look after that also. So coming to here. So the contention is regarding, so if you see the article, so the present article, what was going in the newspaper, it's regarding this, a strong case to restore section 8(4) of RP Act 1951. Okay. So first of all, see how many sections are there in section 8. Why? Because it is very important in this year. There may be possibility of mains question. So if you see this one, a person, so prior to this, I'll tell you something. What is the difference between conviction and sentence? Any one of you can let me know what it is? What is the difference between conviction and sentence? So these are the basics you need to know. చెప్పండి.
కన్విక్షన్ అంటే ఒక పర్సన్ తప్పు చేయడం, అదే సెంటెన్స్ అంటే కోర్టుల నుంచి వాడికి శిక్ష చేయడం.
Yeah, something related to conviction means there may be a thing, but court has accepted his guilt of it. That person has done it. Court has said that he is guilty of that crime or something. But the sentence is the punishment given by the court for this guilty. These differences are very very important. They will play with you in between the things. A person sentenced, they may change the word. These type of gameplay will happen in the polity prelims questions. Gameplay of words, very very important. If you don't know this difference, you don't know it generally, you don't see whether this conviction or sentence, very important. So that's why I'm concentrating single dot points, because polity is a one subject which looks very easy. When coming onto the paper of the prelims, they may play with the words. Got it? So next, coming to here, a person convicted of an offence punishable. So prior to this, I'll briefly tell about these things. There is a section 8 which deals with what? Disqualification on the conviction for certain offences. There are some offences. For example, one is dealt with some of the offences. For example, section IPC, section religion. For example, sedition. Not sedition. Protection of civil rights, untouchability. So you have done these things, you may get disqualified regarding the first one. So next one, 8(2). So a person convicted for the law, prevention of hoarding of profiteering. Next one, dowry. So this is 8(2). Next one, 8(3) is, this is the important one, and 8(4), these two are very important for us. A person convicted of any offence and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than, very very important, not less than 2 years, other than any offences referred in the subsection of whatever it may be, shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction. The word is very very important. The date of such conviction, not date of such sentence. Very important these words are. And shall continue to be disqualified for the further period of how much? 6 years. So what it means? These two provisions are very very important. Do you know Jagananna? Huh? So prior to the 2 years, he got bail or he came out of the, what you can say, jail. So it's something around 18 months. He has spent in jail in just 18 months. So if he has beyond 24 months, he may not participate in the elections. He may not be our CM also. But it has over. So I am telling you example. So it is not. So if it is greater than 2 years, he is disqualified for next 6 years. This is a very very important provision. So next, coming to the 8.4, this is a very controversial provision. Why? Because notwithstanding anything in the subsection 1, subsection 2 or subsection 3, a disqualification under either subsection shall not, in the case of the first date of the conviction is a member of the parliament or the state legislature, take effect until, see the word, see here, take effect until 3 months. These things are very important. 3 months have elapsed from that date, or if within that period an appeal or application for revision is brought in respect of the conviction or the sentence until that appeal or application is disposed by the court. So nothing much, no need of making complication, all those things. So within 3 months, if you file any appeal in court, your disqualification, it's under stay. So you have a window of 3 months. In these 3 months, you have like you can file this disqualification, then you can go to the house, you can do as usual activity. But court felt this as a contentious issue. What is the reason? What is the reason? By striking down of the section 4. So the article which is talking about restore the section 4, right, which was given in this here. So why this section got what you can say struck down? Any idea? Just tell me some few points which you have in your mind. ఎందుకు కొట్టేసి ఉంటుంది తెలుగులో చెప్పండి, ఏం పర్లేదు. What may be the reason? Why this 3 months? So if this 3 months, why? Because already there are, we'll talk in another dimension. So if there is a 3 months period, right, he can see whatever the loopholes he has possible, right? Being a member of a legislator, he can see as many loopholes as his perspective. That is the one reason. If you see the word of criminalization of politics. So if you see, nearly 40% of the MPs in the Lok Sabha have cases on them. Nearly 40% who are there at present, they have cases on them. So still they are part of the legislature. It's very reality as happening. So due to this criminalization of politics, if they have given the ample amount of 3 months, it can be prolonged. If you see, there are so many like legislators, they are doing the 2 terms also, even though through this, by using this provision, 3 months period, they are keep on delaying. If you go, if that goes to the court, it keep on delays, right? So that is the reason why court found that it is ultra vires to the constitution. It is against to the constitution. So that's why it got struck down. Struck down through a case called Lily Thomas case. The case name is called what? Lily Thomas case. So what this case talked about? Lily Thomas case 2013. 13. I have told you, right, this is the background of it. So, it struck down what? Section 8(4) of RPA Act 1951, and next one, it has given a provision that it should be a immediate disqualification, not 3 months period up to give you take the 3 months period and appeal for it. It's not like that. Immediate disqualification. So, second one is what? Filing an appeal did not provide automatic protection against the disqualification. This was happening. I have told you, right? So, next one is no automatic stay on what? So, everything. It should be an immediate. If that defamation, for example, Rahul Gandhi has happened the defamation, then he got this what you can say, disqualification, immediately disqualified, right? So, there is another contentious issue. We'll relate with the article 103 also. Just be in line. So, next one, what are the other things in this case is what? Transparency in the candidate's records. What it means? When you are going to for an election as a candidate, you need to file your details, whatever the thing it may be. You have any offences or you have any property related, everything. So, transparency should be made. It directs that all candidates contesting elections must disclose their criminal antecedents. Very, very important. These provisions are very important. Lily Thomas case. We'll talk in another side of this case. So, they are asking what? That article is asking what? To restore. Why to restore? See, by these provisions, these are the provisions. Tell me the negative side of these provisions. What happens if immediate disqualification happens? So, it creates like a vacancy. Vacancy of that post leads to by election, or that seat may be vacant till court pass judgment, right? This is the one aspect. So, next one, filing an appeal did not provide automatic protection against the disqualification. Tell me another point, another side of this view. What is appeal? At least you need to give some span, right? If not 3 months, at least there should be some 1 week or 2 weeks for you, right, to deal with this. But it does not give any time frame. It's an immediate disqualification. So, next one, transparency. Or these is there any mechanism? Is there any particular stringent authority to deal with this? No, actually, no. So, these are the other sides. And other thing is, if that case go through that case, next one, I'll link it with the 103 also. I'll let you know. So, these are the other things of this Lily Thomas case. So, next we will go to article 103. So, this is article 103. If any question arises as to whether a member of either house of the parliament has become subject to any of disqualifications mentioned in clause 1 of article 102, the question shall be referred for the decision of whom? The very, very important here. What? The question shall be referred for the decision of president, and his decision shall be final. So, do you know the election election appeal, it should be given in where? High courts. Know that point. No Election Commission of India, no any other body. You need to file that election petition. The petition should be laid to whom? High Court. This is a very important fact. So, then it will process through this, the court give the court will send regarding this to the president, then to this Lok Sabha secretariat, then again president give the assent to it, whatever he is disqualified or something. So before giving any decision on any such question, the president shall obtain opinion of whom? Election Commission, and shall act according to such opinion. So here the Election Commission also will look after through which act? Representation of People's Act. Got it? Here also concerned, but ultimately who is the final authority to decide here? President, right? But in this Rahul Gandhi's picture, Lok Sabha secretariat has disqualified him immediately. Got it? This is also one issue with this one. So there are some loopholes. Okay, you need to plug all those things. మీరు వెళ్ళి చేస్తారని నేను చెప్పలేను, but I am just giving you the information. So these are the basic info, not basic, this is a very important information. Why? Because it's very like trending in the news. So next, that's it. So this is a previous year question, 2020 question, 2020 mains question. There is a need for simplification of procedure for disqualification of persons found guilty of corrupt practices under the Representation of People's Act. So this one is section 8 and this one is section 123. I have not covered the section 123 because it will be a very other thing for me. So we are looking after this section 8 only, right? So I have covered as much as possible. So this section 8, this is the previous year question, 2020, the mains question. So there is a need for simplification of procedure for disqualification of persons found guilty of the corrupt practices under the Representation of the People's Act. So how to simplify? So if this question comes related to only the section 8, how to simplify? So new laws is not, we have discussed the Lily Thomas case, right? So what are the negatives I have told you? There should be a body to deal with this disqualification. There is no body like that. So next one is what? The process is very cumbersome. You need to go to the president, then to the Election Commission of India. That they need to give the time frame. Simplification. There should be some electronic mode of thing to all this happen, right? These are the things you need to write in that answer. And next, criminalization of politics. First of all, I have already told you, right? Conviction versus sentence. Based on that difference also you can try to put here. Okay, these are things you need to write in this answer. This is a previous year question. So another practice question is, immediate disqualification of candidate has become an issue arise after the Lily Thomas case. Comment. This is a practice question for you. For this you need to talk about the both sides of the case which I have told you. You need to talk about the provisions of it and you need to talk the negatives of it. And you need to give a balanced conclusion. So you need to give the data regarding the criminalization of politics is there. Got it? So you need to give that data. So this is a practice prelims question also. Under Article 103 of Indian Constitution, matter relating to the disqualification is final upon the President of India. Is it correct? Under the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution, matter relating to disqualification is final upon Chairman of the House. It's Chairman of the House. If you see the 10th schedule, so why? Because I have framed another thing regarding the 10th schedule. If you see the 102, there is a second point that is related to what? 10th schedule. 10th schedule is what? Anti-defection law. It came in the 1985 52nd Amendment Act, right? 1985 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So here the authority is who? Chairman of the House. So that is Speaker. So if coming to, it is related to what? Anti defection, that is 10 schedule. If it is general disqualification, it should be done by whom? President of India. These differences are very important for you. Got it? So next one, constitution has provided the time frame about the speaker decision in disqualification. It has not provided any time frame. So courts, like so many people are demanding that they need a time frame. One judge has he has given a suggestion to give a time span of 3 months, but it was not happened. Okay. So is there any a judicial review for the decision of the speaker's disqualification? Like if speaker has disqualified one person, is there any judicial review for it? Yes, judicial review is there. These are the very essential facts you need to know for your prelims. Got it? So next, another thing also, there is an issue with this 10 schedule. There are some provisions, just go through it, you will go. What is that provision I have missed? So once the speaker has given that conviction, then only he need to go to the court. Till then there is no court interference. Why? Because there is a separation of powers. Remember this point. So this is the all thing relating to this section 8(4) and this Representation of People's Act. So these are the things I have covered about the issue disqualification, Article 102, 103, 1950-51, Section 8, Lily Thomas, mains previous year question, practice questions, right? So likewise, why I am doing this, because you also need to focus when you are doing a work on your current affairs also. Just see how you segregate the things matters a lot. Then only you will get a clarity. Got it? Mains related questions. Prelims you can play with it, but mains you need to analyze the things. That matters a lot. Cases are very important. Got it? So next. Any one of you heard this one? Bharat N CAP. CAP means Car Assessment Program. N means New or National? It's fine. New Car Assessment Program. So we'll discuss all those things, why it's a need of it, what are the facts relating to it. So India's testing centers are there, right? At present there are testing centers. Next one, global NCAP versus Bharat NCAP and related topics of it, and vehicle scrappage policy, Motor Vehicle Amendment Act, and some practice questions. We'll deal all those things. Prior to this, we need to know what is the reason of implementing this car safety program. Any idea? What is the reason? Main reason, let me know. Okay. So main reason is accidents, road accident, to reduce the road accident. That is the main ultimate aim of this car safety program, right? So I'll show you some data regarding this. This is a very basic data. India sees nearly how much? 1.5 lakh road fatalities in a year, accounting for 10% of deaths due to road crashes. So how many fatalities are happening in a year? 1.5 lakh. So according to a World Bank study, road crashes are estimated to cost the Indian economy between how much? 5 to 7%. These facts are very important. You need to write on your in your answer or something. So there are some possible reasons, right? So if you see, these are the data which was given in the Ministry of Road Transport website. Okay, these charts you need, like not these chart, the details you need to put it on the paper. When you want to show something extra, these facts are very important to you. So next one, see here, accidents, fatalities and injuries. If you see these three dimensions, blue stands for national highways, yellow state highways, green other roads. So what is the recent thing? If you see the if you compare with the last years, what about the blue? It got? So state highways, it is almost similar. So other things, fluctuating, right? It is almost stagnant, it is fluctuating, it is getting decreased, right? So next one, what is the major thing for the road accident? Over speeding. So next, second one is what? Driving on wrong driving on wrong side. Very common thing kada manam chesedi idi. We are very healthy to do it, right? If you go to another country, మీకు తెలుస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు దుబాయ్ వెళ్తే మీ కార్ ఆగిపోతే కూడా రోడ్డు పైన ఫైన్ వేస్తారు. అది కూడా సంథింగ్ 10,000 AED వాళ్ళకి కట్టాలి. కార్ ఆగిపోకూడదు కూడా, బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అవ్వకూడదు. కారు బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అయితే హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు, మొత్తం A to Z వాళ్ళే హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు. బట్ అల్టిమేట్లీ యూ నీడ్ టు పే ద అమౌంట్ యాజ్ ఎ ఫైన్. వై? బికాస్ యూ డింట్ మెయింటైన్ ప్రాపర్ స్టాండర్డ్స్ ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద రెగ్యులర్ చెకప్, రెగ్యులర్ సర్వీస్ యూ డింట్ మెయింటైన్. సో నీకు అర్హత లేదు కాబట్టి నువ్వు ఎందుకు రోడ్ మీదకి వచ్చావు. దేర్ ఇంటెన్షన్ ఇస్. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ దేర్ రోడ్స్, దే జనరల్లీ మెయింటైన్ ఇన్ ద మెయిన్ హైవేస్ 120, 140, it is the speed of there. So if you see the USA also, you have some idea, right? They don't, if you see mostly USA doesn't see any motorcycles. You know what is the reason of it? Temperature, like if you see different, there is a different states has different temperature, that is fine. The main reason is this one. The roads are designed for 120 km, there in their miles. For example, if you convert in our things kilometer per hour, their roads are designed at 120 kmph and 140 kmph. If you are driving a motorcycle in 120 and 140, how it will be? Everybody should be drive in a manner of 120, 140. Will it practically happen? So who are enthusiastic towards those motorcycling, everything? So that's why if you see a lot of person who has that inbuilt zeal of making such kind of road trips in the motorcycle, they only do the things in the USA. So that's the reason why they have a good amount of sports bikes, all those things. So this is the one reason. But in India, whatever the road you pick, so there is if you see in Hyderabad, there is a flyover directly to the airport. They'll give a clear information there. There is only for allowance of 4-wheelers. But if you see, so many people will go on with the 2-wheelers also. If they have that stringent, like obviously వీడు నాకు ఫైన్ వేస్తాడు, ఒక 20,000 ఫైన్ వేస్తాడంటే it won't happen. So earlier, if you see Telangana government also, they have tried to charge something at 10,000 for not wearing helmet earlier, not now. Like third offense, as a third offense, they have charging 10,000, but it got cancelled. So everything. But in Indian mindset, it's not like that. So you cannot change in a single go. If you see the Bharat and Nenu movie also, if you can see all those things. So whatever it may be, you can relate all those things. So driving on wrong side. So it is very good you people to drive on wrong side, right? You can save somebody's lives. No? You can take or save? Take kada? Take took taken. Fine. Next one is what? Drunk and drive. Very healthy thing in our Saturday and Sunday in where? Hyderabad. If you see, go to any of the roads, you can see this thing. So the data coming to here, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, UP has highest level of road accidents. These, why I am telling, because these data are very, very important. They may, if you want to show something different in your answer, these data plays a very key role. Got it? Where is Andhra Pradesh? Oh, friends. Got it. So these are the basic facts I am going to cover. I have covered already. So next, coming to this Bharat, what this? NCAP. So it is based on crash test. So a vehicle is done investigation based on the crash tests from different dimensions. For example, from the front collision, from the side collision, from in between some cars or something. Side nunchi vachi ila rendu okesari vachi guddite. So these type of crash tests will be conducted through this NCAP, Bharat NCAP. So this is main all the things related to this crash test only. So based on that, they will give a star ratings, 5 star, 3 star, 4 star, not this 5 star chocolate. So Bharat NCAP program aims to harmonize Indian crash safety standards with international benchmark, reflecting the principles of global NCAP. So this assessment framework is based on 3 pillars, very, very important. What are these 3 pillars? Adult and child occupant safety. What it means? Crash జరిగినప్పుడు child or adult ఎంత సేఫ్టీగా ఉన్నారు in that seat. So first point. Second point is what? Incorporation of safety assist technology such as electronic stability control, EBS, anti-lock braking systems and airbags. Any one of you, did you know that what is ABS, anti-lock braking system? Do you have an idea that's of that system? What it is? విన్నారు కదా ABS అని. What is this ABS? Why the government has mandatory made for some of the CC, in the CC pine అంటే ABS mandatory. So generally in the normal braking system there is a called of drum brake. So there is no use of electronic circuits or something. There is no semiconductors, all those things in the normal drum brake. There is 2 kinds of brake. One is based on this disc brake. You heard disc brake, right? So disc brake also has ABS or non-ABS. If you pick the non-ABS, it doesn't have any this electronic things. If you pick the ABS one, it has an electronic component. What it will do is, when you hold a brake in the non-ABS one, it generally there is a, if it is a disc, it will be applied very fastly. అంటే ఇలా నొక్కంగానే అది ఇలా ప్రెస్ అయిపోద్ది. బట్ నాట్ ఇన్ ద ABS. ABSలో ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ABS, ఇట్ జనరలీ టేక్ సమ్ లైక్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్స్లో ఇలా కంప్రెస్ చేసి ఆపుతుంది. అంటే ఆ బ్రేక్ హోల్డింగ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది కదా, సంథింగ్ బ్రేక్ ఇట్ ఇలా పట్టుకోవటమే. ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని జారకుండా ఇలా పట్టుకుంటున్నాను కదా, సడన్గా ఇలా పట్టుకునేది ఇట్స్ నార్మల్ వేబీ వితౌట్ ABS. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ABS, ఇలా ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్స్ ఇలా జరుగుతుంది. అలా జరగడం వల్ల ఏమైందంటే సడన్గా ఇలా బ్రేక్ నొక్కలు ఇలా పడేవాళ్ళు కదా, అర్లియర్ యూస్ టు బి. సో ఇఫ్ యూజ్ ద ABS అలా పడరు, అది జారటం కూడా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. సో వై? బికాస్ ఆ మిల్లీ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్స్లో ఆ బ్రేక్ ఇలా అవుతుంది అనమాట. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై దే హ్యావ్ యూజ్ దిస్ ABS అండ్ ఎయిర్ బ్యాగ్స్. యూ నో ఇట్ రైట్ వెరీ వెల్. సో అదర్ pillar is what? Seat belt reminders. Obviously if you go into the car, it keep on beeping if you don't wear the first 2 seat belts in the now present generation vehicles. So first NCAP was credited 1978 by earlier. First is the which country? USA. The next one in 2011 there is a global NCAP. This is an charity based. It doesn't comes under any government. It is a private organization which will do this one. Global NCAP. Okay. A UK based charity towards zero foundation formed the global NCAP. So very, very important things. In India there are some centers to deal with this. So what are those centers? Where are those centers? Matters a lot for your prelims question. Okay. So these tests are performed at testing centers: National Automotive Test Tracks, NAT tracks at indoor. So next one, Automotive Research Association of India, ARAI. If you see generally if you see any reviews of any vehicles, if you go to YouTube also, ARAI mileage. If you see the brochure also, if you want to buy any vehicle like a 4-wheeler, 2-wheeler or something, they will give a ARAI mileage, because they have a racetrack. In that racetrack, based on the speed they will test it. So based on that, for example, mileage రావట్లేదు వాళ్ళు 25 ఇచ్చారు మనకి ఎందుకు 18 వస్తుందంటే there may be different, because depend on their conditions they will do that test. Got it? That is this ARAI, very, very important. ARAI at where? Pune. Next one is International Center for Automotive Technology, ICAT, at Manassar, and the Global Automotive Research Center at Chennai. These centers are very important. We don't know, right? There may be, they'll give the center and the name of the region in the prelims. We don't know, but it's very important. So at present in the Indian picture, this Indian Bharat NCAP is doing on the models of only the base model, which was sold how much? Greater than 30,000 vehicles sold ayi unte dani meeda they will do this crash tests. So next one, it should be maintained a standard. That standard number is 197. These are the basic data, no need of it, but this point is important. Base model, they will test on the base model. So why? Because you know the reason, right? What is the reason? We Indian freak. For example, చూసుకుంటే if you see the Maruti Suzuki, ఏదైనా సరే, Alto, very famous car, or else any other car in that segment, right? Swift. Generally, if you see the car rate starts from 6 lakhs to 12 lakhs. It's a single car. This is the starting variant and the ending variant. This 6 lakhs means, other 6 lakhs means additional features. So mostly what Indian mindset want is, like the middle class, they want a car. They are not concentrating on, now the change has, now trend has changing, but earlier if it is 6 lakhs, they want a car, they need to go on to AC, they want to show off. మా కారు ఉందని చూపించుకోవాలి. పక్కన వాళ్ళు ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళు కారు కొన్నారు, ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళు గొడవ పెడతారు, మాకు కారు కావాలంటారు, they need a car, they will buy it. So generally they will go for this 6 lakhs which doesn't have any safety regulations. So earlier, now the 2 airbags is standard for any of the car. Earlier it's not standard. So these are the things you need to know. So that's the reason why they are testing what? Base models. Why? Because we preferably prefer it. So there is a difference, global NCAP versus Bharat NCAP. Global NCAP is done by private company, Bharat is done by, it's a government run. So there is some points to categorize a 5-star, 4-star or something. So if that acquires 34 points, in the 34 it's a front crash at 16, no need of all this data, but remember 34 points, yes, it is of 5-star for adult. So difference is important. No need of this 34 points ilanti em adagadu exam lo, but they will ask adult and child ala adutaru ante. So coming to here, for 5-star in this one, 27 points adult and 41 points for child. There is a classification for both child and adult, but here for 5-star it's adult. Next one is what? Speed. For frontal collision, it should be 1 or 2 kilometer per hour. So for the speed of this frontal, the Bharat NCAP is how much? 64 kilometer per hour. So half of the reduced because of Indian conditions. Our roads are not designed like something Dubai or what you can say USA to reach of 120 kilometers. So based on that, they have designed like this. Got it? So there are other things you need to know, because for cars or for car safety or for environment, whatever it may be, relating to the transport sector of the things, government has doing an immense thing. We don't know the question comes from individual this car safety or overall the road, like cars related, or cars or vehicles. So what are the government initiatives to deal with this cars protection or environment protection? Is these things. BS6, you heard, right? What is this BS6? BS means what? Bharat stage. Based on which norms? Based on Euro norms. This BS, this Bharat stage is based on which norms? Euro norms 6. So this BS6 is based on both for fuel. Fuel should be BS6 compliant, and vehicles also should be BS6 compliant. Obviously, the main aim is to reduce the sulfur content, which will create an impact in the global warming, all those things. So very important, just go through this. Next one is FAME 2 scheme. This scheme is related to what? Any of you idea? Do you have an idea? FAME 2? It is for the electric vehicles. Okay, for subsidies, all those things to the EV industry, for related to the industry, electric vehicle industry. FAME 2 scheme. Do you have any idea which ministry? Oh, పనిచేసారేంది ఎవరన్నా అంత ఫాస్ట్గా చెప్పారు. Next one, National Electric Mobility Mission. So very important. So next one, very important. India is a signatory of it. Brasilia Declaration on Road Safety 2015, I think so. Okay, very important. So next one, green hydrogen. These are the things for the car things. We don't know, right, how the question may be asked in the mains or prelims, but these things are very important when you are covering in different dimensions. So there is last year they have launched a policy called vehicle scrappage policy. So if you see, మనం బయటకు వెళ్తే చాలా మంది they used to run the vehicles which are very old, which will create what? Vehicular pollution and sound pollution. Two pollutions they will give you. So for that, government has brought this vehicle scrappage policy. In this vehicle scrappage policy, they have mentioned some details. It's very important because this question was not asked in the prelims also, but we don't know. They are asking like 2 years, 3 years questions also in the prelims if you go on through it. It is there in the news, but it's a subsided news. It is still there in the news, but it's a subsided news. They may pick any of such kind of things from the things, or they may directly ask this in the mains also. How the vehicle scrappage policy, or like overall the things government has doing to reduce this global warming, or as a measure to sustainable development, how the India is performing in this road sector or this what you can say vehicle sector. They can frame a question like that also, mains question. So coming to here, scrap value, 4 to 6% of the ex-showroom price of the new. If you buy a new vehicle, they will give ex-showroom price will be there. For example, 6 lakhs is ex-showroom price. They will give a scrap value of how much? 4 to 6% of the scrap value. How much? Leave at least 1 lakh. How much is the 4%? 4,000. Okay. So next one, tax rebate. You need to pay tax, right? Road tax. If you are buying a vehicle, just see there is a brochure they will give, not this, the quotation, what you call as quotation they will give. In that quotation they will mention this ex-showroom price, life tax, next insurance, all those things. So if it is a tax, how much the tax could be rebatable? Up to 25% of which vehicles? Personal vehicles means which we buy. So next one, up to 15% for commercial vehicles. Next one, discount on new vehicle. Vehicle manufacturer will be advised to give how much? 5% on the new against the scrapping certificate. There is an authority which has declared like this corner fit, not fit another. So next one, fee waiver registration. Fees may also be waived against, nothing much here, but remember these points are important. So there is an, if you go, like for example, if it is 15-year-old vehicle or 20-year-old vehicle, you need to go for a fitness test. It will be conducted in the road transport office. If that it is not fitting into their domain, you need to, it was categorized what? Scrap. So then you will get with what? Scrapping certificate. That's it. So next one, there is an act called what? Motor Vehicle Amendment Act. This is also there in the news, but it is an subsided news. Why I am covering all those things? Because you need to know, you need to aware these things are already there in the place. ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్గా రోజు కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ చదువుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతారు, బట్ యూ డోంట్ నో వాట్ వాస్ బిహైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. వ్యాక్సిన్స్ ఆర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, అలాంటి వాటి నుంచి అడుగుతాడు. సో ద యాక్ట్ హైక్స్ ద penalties for the traffic violation, defective vehicles, juvenile driving, etc. Juvenile driving very famous, you know it? Huh? 7th 8th క్లాస్లో బండి నేర్చుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా చేతులు ఉన్నారా? ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఉంటారు, ఎందుకు ఉండరు? దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ juvenile driving. So next one, it provides for the motor vehicle accident fund. So this is a fund which would provide compulsory insurance cover all road users in India for certain types of the accidents. It also provides for the National Road Safety Board. So remember here, what are the things? It increased the penalties. Next one, a fund. Next one, insurance undali. Next one, oka board undi, National Road Safety Board. It also provides for protection of Good Samaritan. Who are these Good Samaritans? Any idea? For example, Indian picture lo ela untadante, you know it, right? If accident has happened, do you know Sai Dharam Tej incident? Do you know Sai Dharam Tej, any one of you in the class? Who is he? Huh? Bro movie hero. He met with an accident, you know it, right? Somebody has helped him, right? He is a good Samaritan. Generally what will happen in Indian picture, మనం హెల్ప్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది అంటే, there may be lot of dimensions. అంటే ఆ లీగల్ కేసులో నువ్వే చేసి ఉండొచ్చు. Obviously you are the person behind it. There may be one provision. Another provision means if the hospital won't accept, you need to charge them. And there may be like a lot of pressures in the later. For example, కేసులో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయితే you need to go through the cases. ఆ hearings వింటాం, if he death అయితే అనమాట. Keep on. So it creates some mental disturbance in people minds. కానీ ఇవన్నీ కాకుండా మన వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే స్నాప్చాట్లో ఫొటోస్ తీసుకోవటం, ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్స్లో రీల్స్ తీసుకోవడం, యాక్సిడెంట్ జరిగినప్పుడు ఇలాంటివి చేస్తుంటారు, విచ్ వాస్ ప్రాక్టికల్లీ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ద డైలీ లైఫ్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ హెల్పింగ్, రైట్? అదే చేస్తున్నారా? ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టెలింగ్ లైక్ జోక్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్. దెర్ ఇస్ అ రిపోర్ట్ హ్యాస్ కేమ్ లైక్ 90% ఆర్ లైక్ విజువల్గా చూడటం ఇన్ దిస్ రీసెంట్ థింగ్, ఏదో ఒక ప్రైవేట్ ఆర్టికల్ వచ్చింది, అది something around 40 to 50% are taking the videos by using their phones. Not I'm talking about this Instagram, all those. They are taking the photos and videos, all those things. I don't know like why they are curious about those accidents. They like blood or something, I don't know. But they are missing the humane. So minimum of humanity undala. Undala. So I don't know, but for the protection of them, they have brought these Good Samaritans. Remember these points, very important. So this is one of the PYQ. So forget about these options. This is one of the PYQ, previous year prelims question. Beijing Declaration Platform for Action is seen in use is related to what? Okay, if you know, I am not asking about the answer, just see the question. The question can be framed like this. Same thing, Brasilia Declaration is related to which of the following? You don't know, right? How the question can be framed. So very important, this road safety, because where I have started in the car safety program and I have ended with this question. సో యూ నీడ్ టు థింక్ ఇన్ దోస్ డైమెన్షన్స్. అంటే ఎలా అడగచ్చు ఏంటి, దీస్ ఇంటర్లింకింగ్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ యూ టు క్రాక్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ యాజ్ మచ్ యాజ్ ఈజీ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ ఫర్ యూ. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మనకు తెలియాలి అక్కడక్కడ ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయో అనేది. సో ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ సమ్ ఇన్సైట్స్ టు యూ, దీస్ ఆర్ ద లింక్స్ బిహైండ్. యూ నీడ్ టు థింక్ దిస్ మచ్ బియాండ్ వెన్ యూ ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ ఇట్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ హియర్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆన్సర్ హియర్? Veterinary health, right? Road safety, okay, fine. So this is a practice question, mains practice question. Road accidents have claimed lot many lives in India. In this backdrop, what are the initiatives taken by India to reduce this menace? Give suggestions for a good road safety. I've already discussed this, right? So tell me the suggestions then. Tell me some suggestions. Regular maintenance of so when you are framing a policy, like when the suggestions comes in these dimensions, you need to think from two perspectives. One is from the government side, one is from the public side, like we. Why? Because when you are doing a policy framing, you need to think from the both perspective, because government cheyangane you didn't follow, right? Generally there is an 100% thing that you should not go in the wrong route, but we generally do it. It should be both hands should be there, right, to work on it. So when you are, why I am telling, because it will make your thinking easy on the mains paper. ఇక్కడ టూ డిఫరెంట్ వ్యూస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు రెండు విధాలు, ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ గవర్నమెంట్ సైడ్ మనం రాస్తాము, దెన్ యూ విల్ రైట్ సంథింగ్ రిగార్డింగ్ టు ద ఇండివిజువల్ సైడ్, పబ్లిక్ సైడ్. అదే యూ హ్యావ్ అలా క్లమ్జీగా ఒక పాయింట్ దాని మీద, ఒక పాయింట్ దీని మీద రాసినప్పుడు ద ఆన్సర్ ఈస్ నాట్ స్ట్రక్చర్డ్. సో హౌ ద టాపర్ స్కోర్, లైక్ స్కోరింగ్ ఎలా చేస్తారంటే ఇన్ దిస్ వే ఓన్లీ, దే విల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ దేర్ ఆన్సర్ అకార్డింగ్లీ. స్ట్రక్చరింగ్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ యూ. సో టెల్ మీ ఫ్రమ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ సైడ్ అండ్ ద పబ్లిక్ సైడ్. ఫాస్ట్. Traffic police force are there, but fines. See, you can, there is an do you know incentives? If you find something timely payment, for example వాళ్ళు వేస్తే, and next there is a discount. Recently it was done by the Telangana government. సో ఇలా చేసినప్పుడు ట్రాఫిక్ చలాన్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు దే విల్, ఓకే. సో గవర్నమెంట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద, అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు మెయింటైన్ గుడ్ roads and the cleaning. For example, the Sai Dharam Tej accident you heard, right? It is because of that sand on the road. It's from the our side fault, the government side fault. Got it? So next, from the public side, here you can use something like artificial intelligence vadandi, or something, use the digital data, all those things, whatever the things you can place over here, but link from the different dimensions. So next one, from the our side, we need to reduce speed, we need to follow the guidelines, and if you go to the test, driving license test, it should be genuine, you know it. Driving license test should be genuine. Why? Some pro drivers are there. నిన్న ఎక్కించుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతారు, but they have a good license with them. Why? There is no genuine in their driving. So and you should not be confident that రెండు రోజులు కార్ నేర్చుకొని I am driving like anything అన్న కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ కూడా, but you need to practice. So these guidelines should be there. Internally you should have that. Got it? So these are the things relating to this article. So do you have any doubt till now? One important, one famous thing we are going to discuss. It's a burning thing. It's not burning thing. I don't know. It may burn or not. It will burn up to some extent, like in this week or upcoming week. Then it will get off అయిపోయింది. So we are talking about what? Bricks. about BRICS, the facts related to it, what is its importance, what are the challenges, what is domain related to Indian perspective. If you see the IR questions, so generally the IR questions can be done in the dimension of India to other country or India to other grouping or India to other region, or they may ask an individual grouping. Mostly the question in the IR are in these dimensions only. If you see the IR paper of the previous year's questions, India की आ grouping के India का country संबंध में India का region संबंध में or else overall grouping of that. For example, I2 U2 is the last year question. If you see the mains paper, I2 U2 is the last year question. Likewise, which there in the news, they will ask on it. So this year there is three things on the news. One is SCO, G20 and the BRICS. These are all there in the news. But we don't know what they may ask, but I will cover as much as possible from this BRICS thing, because I am trying to cover in different dimensions, not in a single dimension, different dimensions. So for India next, recently what was happened? BRICS plus. Next one, important info regarding it. I'll tell some questions also regarding these things. So very important. This article names, I don't know like how these people will write the names very well. I don't know whether it is visible or not. BRICS test for India's multipolarity rhetoric. Just let me know what is multipolarism or multipolarity, whatever it may be. What is this multipolarism? Any one of you know IR optional from this class? PSIR? No one? Suppose what is multipolarism, or else very easy thing. See, if you divide that one, ee word ni divide cheyandi. What is polar? Poles. There are North Pole and South Pole. Earlier, if you see the thing, unipolar. The world is rotated around the USA. Okay. Prior to this globalization, during the time of prior to the 2008, all those things, the world is in around the USA. But at present time, in this 2020s or recent times, the world is being changed. Right? The world, like the things has happened, like China is going dominated and the Russia's influence is growing more. These two things are growing more. And the India is also an aspiring one. Multipolarism is what he has, exactly what he has told. Not only a single pole, it is based on the different blocks. Like it is creating a dimension that you can join like any one of it for a development purpose. Not like అంటే హెజిమోనీ అవసరం లేదు, ఒక సింగిల్ పర్సన్ హెజిమోనీతో కాకుండా ఒక డిఫరెంట్ డైమెన్షన్స్లో నీకు ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ కమ్స్ అండర్ మల్టీ పోలారిజం. అంటే నాట్ ఓన్లీ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ ఆన్ సింగిల్ పవర్, అదొకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. గాట్ ఇట్? సో నౌ వాట్ ఇస్ ద డైమెన్షన్ ఈస్ BRICS. So what is the origin of the BRICS? Any one of you know? Brick, which brick? Gotta cut a brick. So it's not like if you see, there is no like institutional like perfect setup for the BRICS. There is no perfect like headquarter, all those things for this BRICS. Why? Because it's just a grouping. Got it? So earlier in the 2000s, there is a person called Neil. He is a member of Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is an economical, if you see the what you can say, financial institution. He has suggested that in this 2000s there are some countries which are aspiring in the next 21st century, they may change the world. Okay, what are those countries? He found is BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China, because they are growing. Apart from the West dominated this USA, or these European countries, they are gaining much, right? Based on this BRICS came into the picture when 2009. Why? Because earlier during the 2008 there is an financial crisis where the world has seen that USA has fallen. Like USA, their trust has decreased because of the Goldman Sachs, that Lehman Sachs, all those things. Lehman Brothers issues, so it's a different thing. But remember the 2000 financial crisis. So world has lost the world has lost the credibility on the USA. So that's why they have in the 2009 they have formed the BRICS grouping. They have generally consulted in the Russia. Ekaterinburg is the place. Got it? First meeting has happened. Till now it's been continuing. So in the 2010 South Africa has joined this BRICS. This is the basic information. The reason behind is this one, but there are some main what you can say objectives for an organization, for a grouping to set up. There are some objectives, right? So what are these objectives? Just we'll see. So what we call this as 3 pillars of BRICS. What are the 3 pillars? Political and security. Second one is what? Economic and financial. Next one, cultural and people to people exchanges. Very, very important when you are writing a mains answer regarding these BRICS. You need to categorize your answer based on these 3 domains. If try to make it possible, or else at least put these things in your introduction or conclusion or in way between. My suggestion is try to frame an answer, like body of the answer based on these dimensions, because it will give you a very good score, because you are going in the exact dimension what it has framed. Got it? Political and security. Why? What is this political and security? Geopolitics. The word coming to this political is what? Geopolitics. So you know, right? West dominated country, G7. G7 is what? West dominated country. So as a counter to it, they have started this grouping. This is a political aspect. Security means terrorism aspect. So next one, economic and financial. So if you see the 40%, yeah, it's behind this one. So next one, coming to this cultural and people to people exchange. I'll tell example of this also in the later phases. So culture and people to people exchanges should be there to promote tourism, all those things. Right? In these dimensions, you need to talk your answer, whatever it may be. So why this in the news? So BRICS plus 6. The word is what? BRICS plus 6, the recent addition. So this is a very basic data regarding this, representing 41% of the global population, 24% of the global GDP and 16% of the global trade. Chairmanship of the forum is rotated annually. Founded 2000, first summit at where? Ekaterinburg, 2009 in Russia. Okay, some facts related to it. So very, very important. We'll discuss in detail regarding it. So I have covered as much as from my side, but I don't know how the question can be framed. But very important, if you go on through this, you'll get a good idea regarding what is this BRICS, all those things. So the importance of this BRICS, global governance for more representation and inclusivity to reduce this West dominance. So that's the reason why in the recent summit they have adopted plus 6 members who are something like-minded. They are generally saying that's like-minded, but in fact they are not like-minded. We will talk about that also. Okay, just remember for a good global governance. So if you see the recent this BRICS summit, where it was happened? South Africa. So Johannesburg. So this president has country head has invited nearly 64 members, 64 or 67 members as a part of this event, not to be a member as a part of, as a guests, he has invited them. So it means that it want to promote what? Global governance. Next one is South-South cooperation, very, very, very important thing. There is a word called anyone of you heard this word? It is called brand line. If you heard, it's fine. Brand line is nothing much. The world has categorized North versus South. If you see, apart from this region, Asian region like China, all those things, if you see the northern region like Russia, Europe, USA, UK, these are all developed economies. If you see the southern picture, for coming to the half of the India, Africa, the Southern America, all those things, right? For example, the Southeast Asian nations, they are all comes under developing or least developed countries. So to differentiate the line between this north and south, there is a line name called what? Brand line. Very important. Got it? So as a supportive hand, as a like a voice to the southern nations or a voice to the developing nations, these BRICS has formed. So Brazil is a southern nation. So apart from the Russia, just forgot about that Russia. You see the South-South cooperation, it should be the main dimension. Next one is what? Geopolitics, it should be balanced. So what was happening generally? What is that? How to maintain this geopolitical balance? At present, China versus USA. If you see these BRICS plus 6 edition mostly are under the hand of China. So I am talking in the two different views. I am talking a single point. I am talking in that view and this view. There should be a positive side. There is also a negative side, other side of it. So South-South cooperation, but Russia is not part of it. I have already talked about this one. I have already global governance for representation and the inclusivity, but it was not happening. Why? Because why global? There is no inclusivity. How? I'll tell with the facts also. Just be in. So next one, economy. How much? 18% of the world trade. Next one, terrorism. Very, very main aspect. Where if from the India, if Modi goes anywhere, he will talk about in a single word that is called related to the terrorism. If you see any of the speech or something related in the international perspective, he will talk about the terrorism word. But so one thing. Next one, multipolarism, which the class have started with the multipolarism. How the multipolarism should be? It should be equity, inclusion and representation. So again, there is an like controversy which was happening is multipolarism is another version of imperialism. Heard? Any one of you heard? Multipolarism is another version of imperialism. Means earlier there is a domination of only single country, that is called what? USA. Now the shifting of focus is from to China, Russia, to feel their greed, to feel their need. This shifting of multipolarity is concentrating on these two poles. So if you see these three poles, for example, USA, Russia, China, India doesn't have any pole, even though we have reached the south pole of the moon. Okay. So at present picture, they are playing the role. Whole. So Russia, China. So again creating a picture of imperialism. If you see the BRICS plus motive, BRICS should be expanded is the motive of China. In the 2017 or 18, there is a declaration called Xiamen Declaration. In that declaration, it has mooted that we need an expansion of the BRICS. These declarations are very important. I have already that one. I will show you. No worry regarding it. But remember, but multipolarism, whether it is equity or inclusion or representation, will it really happening? That you see, based on the question, you need to answer like that. I am giving you two views. Just note those two views. I am giving some examples regarding it. So next one, very, very important, sustainable development goals. Why I have mentioned this? Because if you see, there is a bank called New Development Bank. It is a bank under the BRICS. So if you see this BRICS, this NDB's financing, it is giving financing to the sustainable development projects. not only in India, in this I'll talk about this NDB also, New Development Bank. So this bank is giving funds to whom?
Developing nations.
Developing an emerging nation to develop structures regarding this sustainable development mechanisms. Got it? So that's why you're concentrating on this one. So these are the very important things, importance of this BRICS at present picture. What are the challenges? Very, very important. So coming to the one perspective, that is what different government ideologies, very, very important. So Russian government is different, right? It's political, politically oriented, like China. It's based on what? Like communism. India, democracy. Every political ideologies are different, right? Obviously, there is a clash of interest, right? Then how they can work in a together manner, right? One point you need to. So the main motive generally based on his insights of it can be a future economic domain. They have come together and formed, but there are different political ideologies with them, right? Obviously, right, China is focusing to create an edge in this area, so it's trying to dominate over here. So next one, combination of BRICS and SCO. So again, it is a domination of which country?
China.
And Russia. Russia is also part of SCO, you know it, right? Again it's to this multipolarism. You heard a word of globalization? Globalization. We are experiencing presently, it's a globalization. It's not globalization we are experiencing at present, it's a globalization. Why? Because every country, like which country is developing, they are trying to aspire from their side. For example, if you take the India, we are concentrating more on the make in India. We want to be our self-sufficient country. If we are self-sufficient, we don't need any exports and imports, right? Like the majority things, major imports and exports, we don't need them, right? If you see the China, right? China is also at present they are working without exports, and exports, for example, their main domain of economy is based on exports only, right? But by seeing this world picture, they are going to change their policy to reduce their exports. Anduke present, if you see the last class, first current affairs class lo cheppinappudu kuda, there is an deflation in the China. So they are adjusting their situations. Ante exports lekapoyina sir, they are trade surplus country. At present, they are trade surplus country. They are making some changes to reduce this globalized perspective by seeing this COVID thing. So this process of globalization is happening. And next, USA also, make America great. If you see the Trump's policies, the Joe Biden policies, the recent policies, any one of the policies, they are seeing what? To reduce this global influence. Got it? So next, if you see any of the countries, for example, Russia, Ukraine domination. Got it? These are all the matters which will reduce trust between the countries. Got it, right? If you see all those things, it will reduce what? Trust between the countries. So that is the reason why the process the process is going on, what is called as globalization. It was mentioned in an ORF, like a research paper. I have picked this word, it's a very important thing. You can mention in your mains answers also. Got it? Anybody have heard this one? I only heard recently. It's no worry. So where I have stopped? It's a combination of BRICS plus SCO. Again, the domination of both. So next, coming to the West view. So obviously, USA will try to gain some importance in these regions, right? West view means Europe and all those things. So next one, conflict of interest with the other groupings. Very, very important. I'll tell in the later. For example, I2, U2. Example I am giving. I'll tell. I2, U2. Heard this one? India, Israel, UAE, USA. UAE, USA. Right. And I want to introduce a word. It was also mentioned in the recent that paper, that is called mini laterals on rise. what the word called as mini lateral. For example, if you see this I2, U2, it's a very small grouping. These are not called as multilateral groupings. These are called as what? Mini lateral groupings. For example, quad, 4-member thing. You heard, right? So these words are very important. You can use these words in your papers. Mini lateral, globalization, all those things. Got it? So coming where I have stopped. So there is a conflict of interest, I2, U2. So at the same time, India is a part of this SCO and this quad. So there is a conflict of interest between these things, right? Not, I am talking about the Indian perspective, but from if you see the different countries also the same thing happened, right? For example, USA, UAE and USA are very close friends. Take this I2, U2 example only. So in this U2, USA and UAE are close allies. If you see the UAE defense thing, most of the defense equipment they have imported from this USA only. So coming to this BRICS plus, recently this UAE has part of this BRICS plus. Again there is a conflict of interest between the groupings, right? There will be again a trust deficit. Untada undada? Obviously. So next one important other thing is what? Poverty. If you see the BRICS, very good number of poverty. If you see the China, poverty is there. India, famous. So poverty. Next one, inequality. Yeah, coming to this inequality, there are two kinds of inequality. You heard that? Any idea? What? What can you differentiate what is this income inequality versus wealth inequality? Anyone of you can differentiate? So exactly, for example, wages, whatever it comes under everything regarding this wages. So subsidies, these are all monthly we will getting. So what is this wealth? Through this you can create some asset through the mode of savings. Got it? If you see this picture, India has both income and wealth inequality. If you see the recent trend also, there is a growing of both income inequality and the wealth inequality. But there is an, if you see the law, if you see the top 1% of the wealthy individuals has something around 30 to 40% of the money with them. So rest is behind the other things. Got it? 1%. For example, if you see the top persons, which is the top Forbes magazine, Mukesh Ambani is there. That Adani group is there. They are the top individuals only, right? Most of the wealth is concentrated into them, their hands only, right? Not for the bottom rung of people like us. So there is a difference between what? Income and wealth inequality in these countries. So some country, so which could be like which could be pro, అంటే ఏది సపోర్టివ్గా ఏది పాజిటివ్గా ఉంటుంది? ఇన్కమ్ అనేది ఉండాలా, వెల్త్ అనేది ఉండాలా? వెల్త్ అనేది ఉండాలి. అట్ ప్రెజెంట్ వీఆర్ గుడ్ ఎట్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పీపీపీ ఉండొచ్చు, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వేజ్ షేర్లో అలా ఉండొచ్చు, బట్ వీఆర్ నాట్ వెల్త్ అనేది కొంతమంది హ్యాండ్స్లోనే ఉంది. ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ద వాట్ యూ కెన్ సే ల్యాండ్ ఫార్మ్ సైజ్, most of this concentrated on the small and marginal farmers. If you see the other side of the perspective, something around 30% of more than large farmers has this one. They are very minute people. This is the difference. There is a difference between this income inequality and the wealth inequality in India. I am talking about, if you are talking about the India, because mostly you can talk in this dimension, the Indian dimension also. But if you want to make something substantiate in that answers, you can make these statements also. It will change your answer domain also. So next, coming to here, economic divergence. Obviously both have different interests, right? China is interested in different thing, India is interested in different thing, Russia is interested in different thing. It has its own advantages. So next one, institutional problems. NDB will talk about this. Next one, contingency reserve arrangement. CRA stands for what? Contingency reserve arrangement. Any one of you heard this IMF? World Bank? So to counter that, it's not like a counter, it's counter to that only. To counter that, this BRICS has established this NDB and CRA. New Development Bank to the World Bank. CRA is like an, what you can say, IMF loans. Special drawing rights, exactly, a special drawing right. Something like contingency reserve is like a special drawing rights. For example, if you are in the BOP crisis, or you are, they will support with these reserves. So New Development Bank, it will fund. Got it? So where is the headquarter? Shanghai. It comes in 2014 or 15 through the declaration of Fortaleza Declaration. The basic regarding this New Development Bank. So next one, recent BRICS Plus. Again, we'll talk about this in detail in this thing. So next one, protectionism. Next one, very, very important thing which was growing in trend. What is this D? What it means? So if you see the India's works also, we are going to dehyphenate from the dollar. For example, if you see recently UAE and USA, we are going to do our multi agreement with our own currencies, and the India, Sri Lanka also. And recently, if you see the payment to the Russia has asked through the mode of yuan, Chinese yuan. So it means that they are going to de-dollarize their economy. So dollar is a hard currency. So at present situation, the value is getting reduced for this dollar, and the countries want to. So we are talking about the concept of multipolarism, right? So there is reducing this unipolar domination of this dollar. So they are working on this de-dollarization. So presently, very, very important trend is going on with the de-dollarization. So these are the challenges going on for India. So India specific, we need to categorize some point. BRICS should be what? Consensus based. For example, in the BRICS decisions, it should be taken in a consensus. Do you know what consensus ante telusa? Andaram kalisi kattukoni oka opinion medaku vachi cheyadam ane consensus. Got it? BRICS Plus should be based on the consensus. So next one, China oriented. Obviously, we have the countries which got adopted here also, they are based on the Chinese dominance. So next one, there is a conflict of interest with these groups, Quad and ITU. Next one, Russia and again US. So Russia-Ukraine war is there. But even if we are a part of it, we are not raising a voice against it, right? Where is this voice of developing nations? So Ukraine is also a developing nation. We are not voicing about it, right? So next one, India's policy of non-alignment. But we are in a perspective of non-alignment, but we are aligned with both the things. That's to the west and to this China and Russia domination. So next one, very, very important. We have a comparative advantage over here. India's startup ecosystem is the third largest startup ecosystem. So if we have good contacts with this BRICS and BRICS plus 6, we can invest more opportunities. Startup ecosystem. You can throw our startups to the other countries to help them. Got it? So next one is what? Culture. Recently, if you go through this recent thing, he has visited this Swami Narayana temple in the South Africa. Who? Modi sir. He has visited what? Swami Narayana temple in the South Africa. It is a cultural exchange, right? Got it? Culture plays a huge role over here. So do you know the Swami Narayana temple, like in India, where you can see the Swami Narayana temple? He is from the Gujarat, I think so. That's the reason why he is highlighting, but I don't know exactly. So there is a temple in the Delhi, Swami Narayana temple is there. It's like they'll treat very, very good. The temple architecture is too good. Like in recent times, You can see a new architecture for the temple construction is very good over this Swaminarayan. You need to like wait in the lines. You need to go leave your chappals, everything. There is a theater also in this Swami. Near Yamuna Bank. I have visited once or twice, but it is not Swaminarayan. Yes, exactly. That is called as Akshardham. I felt it is like a Sikshardham. Really, నేను అదే బాగుంటుందనే చెప్పాను. వై ఐ ఫెల్ట్ బికాస్ ద రీజన్ ఈస్ యూ నీడ్ టు వాక్ వితౌట్ ద చెప్పల్స్ ఆన్ ద ఫ్లోర్ ఆన్ ద మిడ్ డే ఆఫ్ సన్ 2:30కి 2:30కి ఆ టెంపుల్ అంతా నువ్వు ఒట్టికాల మీద తిరగాలి. అంటే తెలియకుండానే యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ప్రదక్షిణాలు. అంటే నీకంటూ నువ్వు ఒక డెసిషన్ తీసుకోకుండానే, జనరల్గా మనం అనుకుంటాం కదా ఇది చేస్తే ఇది మీ చుట్టూ తిరుగుతాం, జనరల్గా అనుకుంటాం కదా, అలా మనం అనుకోని అవసరం లేదు. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోతే వాళ్ళే చెప్పులు తీసే ఇచ్చేస్తారు. ఆ వేడిలో మీరు నడుచుకుంటూ తిరిగితే యుల్ గెట్ దట్ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్. ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్. జనరల్లీ ఇట్ విల్ క్లోజింగ్ టైమ్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ అరౌండ్ 4:30 or 5:30 or 6:30. Show will be there. There is a light show. Everything, if you go through the temple, there is a mini theater will be there. ఆ థియేటర్లో స్వామినారాయణ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి పెద్ద ఎలా అయ్యాడో యూ విల్ సీ దట్. అండ్ దెర్ ఈస్ అన్ వాట్ యూ కెన్ ఆర్ట్ ఎగ్జిబిషన్ హౌ హీ హాస్ గ్రోన్. అండ్ దెర్ ఈస్ అన్ అనదర్ లైట్ షో విచ్ ఆల్సో షో దిస్ ఏజెస్, నాట్ ఏజెస్, అబౌట్ దిస్ వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ అగ్నిదేవుడు అండ్ దిస్ ఫైర్, వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ పంచభూతాలు. యా, దే విల్ ప్లే సంథింగ్ దిస్ స్వామినారాయణ విల్ ప్లే దిస్ పంచభూతాలు. ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ యూ కెన్ సీ in that laser show. You visited this Lumbini Park laser show? Any one of you? No? Put leda adi. I don't know whether it is there or not, but laser show will be there at the Swaminarayan temple. But it's a worth visit. You can see that it's a worth visit of the temple architecture. But I don't know if you have got emotional or the cultural connection or this religious connection. It will be another level of thing for you. It's up to you. So next one. Foreign trade policy 2023. Recently they have foreign trade policy has came, right? So you can link with this one also. Next one is what? So these are the views related to the India. So you need to cover in these many dimensions. If you have other dimensions also you can cover. But if you want to talk BRICS to what you can say Indian perspective, you need to talk about all these dimensions. Got it? You can use this words globalization, minilaterals, all those things. It will enhance your answers. Got it? So see some stats here. These stats are very important regarding with G7 and BRICS. Regarding what? Purchasing or parity. Okay. So 1995. This is what? G7. This is what? BRICS. At present 2023. PPP got more where? BRICS. Very important fact. Very, very important fact. You can mention in your answers. So next one. So the recent expansion. So Argentina already in Southern Africa, Brazil is there. Argentina got inscribed in this one. So why? Because it is famous for lithium, for rare earth metals, all those things. Next one is Ethiopia. Very, very important. It's one of the growing country. Where? In African region, it's one of the growing country. So that's the reason why it was part of it. Next one, two starch rivals. Saudi Arabia versus UAE. They are rivals, you know. They don't like each other. But they are part of this BRICS place. I don't know why. Let it be. They are dominated with what? Oil. So generally they are going to look for different opportunities. So there is you heard a word of called cartelization. Any one of you heard a word of this cartelization? What is that? That yes.
They all coming together and they only decide the price of the oil.
Yeah, it's cartelization దేన్నైనా మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు, బట్ ఇట్ ఇస్ యు ఆర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఆయిల్ కార్టలైజేషన్. కార్టలైజేషన్ అంటే ఏం లేదు, ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఈజీ థింగ్. యూ విల్ డిసైడ్ ద ప్రైస్. మార్కెట్ కండిషనా ఇదంతా వదిలేసే. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ అన్ మొనార్కీ, monopolizing the oil trade. అంటే OPEC, you know OPEC countries generally deal with this cartelization. అంటే they want to monopoly, they will decide the rate. So దానివల్ల there is a concept called Asian premium. Anybody heard this word? Asian premium అంటే ఏషియన్ కంట్రీస్కి ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఈ OPEC నుంచి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసే ఆయిల్కి there is an additional amount they will charge. That is called as Asian premium. This is also under the part of this cartelization. To decrease this, అంటే ఈ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ తగ్గించడానికి it will help us. For example, if in this BRICS 6+ లో it will help us అంటే చెప్తున్నా, హెల్ప్ ఎలా అవుతుంది అని ఇండియాకి అని చెప్పడానికి ఈ కార్టలైజేషన్ తగ్గిస్తుంది అని చెప్తున్నా. Another side of it. So next one, these are only the countries, right? Iran and Egypt, right? Iran, you know it, right? Is a friend of USA. అవునా కాదా? కాదు కదా. Sanctions, they have laid these nuclear sanctions, all those things, right? So it need an other domination to play their role. So Iran. Next, Egypt. So how many countries are there? Like we don't know, right? The question can be framed in the prelims also. What are the countries? Like in South Africa lo any countries BRICS lo part undachu, ala kuda question frame cheyochu. Just be very very important. BRICS plus 6. So is it visible to you? GDP with new members, how much? 29%. Our Saudi Arabia is the only $1 trillion economy being added to the BRICS. Recent edition lo ever $1 trillion economy? Saudi Arabia. Next one is population. How much? Nearly 50%, 46%. Oil production 43%. Export of goods, how much? 25%. BRICS share of global exports will increase slightly, continuing to led by the obviously China. So these facts are important for you. So next, another facts are there. I don't know where I have mentioned. I don't know whether it is visible or not. I'll let you know. India's trade equation with BRICS members. So if you see, this is what? Deficit. This is what? Surplus. So we have in ఒక్క కంట్రీతో ఉన్న ప్లస్లో ఉన్నామా ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్లో? ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ అండ్ సారీ ఇట్స్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ అండ్ ఇంపోర్ట్స్, అనదర్ వన్ సర్ప్లస్ డిస్ప్లేస్. సో ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ ఏంటిది? ఇంపోర్ట్స్. సో టెల్ మీ వన్ కంట్రీ విచ్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఎ గుడ్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ హియర్. Egypt and Iran. Remember these points are very very important. So next one is what? Brazil. Next one, if you see the large amount of thing, which country which have exports? If you see here, large amount, UAE. Remember, this is the first one. So next one, yeah, China. Next one, Brazil, Saudi Arabia. Okay, but remember these things are very important. But altogether positive is with whom? Iran and somehow with the Egypt. These points you need to answer when you want to substantiate your answer. అంటే BRICS 6+ రావటం వల్ల ఇండియాకి పక్కన కంట్రీస్తో ఉన్న దాంట్లో ఏంటి అనే దానికి దీస్ థింగ్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు ప్లేస్ ఇన్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్. ఎందుకంటే ఇండివిజువల్ కంట్రీ వైజ్ యూ నీడ్ టు టాక్. రిమెంబర్ విచ్ కంట్రీ? ఫస్ట్ వన్ UAE, వీ హ్యావ్ గుడ్ వెయిటేజ్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ China in terms of exports and imports. So next one, new BRICS to account for 2/3 of India's total trade deficit. See, very very important. Trade deficit ఈ BRICS plus వల్ల it was creating more trade deficit. ఈ +6 యాడ్ అవటం వల్ల it is creating more ఇండియాకి ఏమవుతుంది? ట్రేడ్ డెఫిసిట్ పెరుగుతుందా తగ్గుతుందా? పెరుగుతుంది. సో ఇట్స్ నెగిటివ్, రైట్? సో ఇలాగా సబ్స్టాన్షియేట్ చేసి యూ నీడ్ టు రైట్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్స్. ఇలా చేస్తేనే మార్కులు వేస్తారు. మిగిలినప్పుడు కూడా మార్కులు వేస్తారు, కానీ 1 2 వేస్తారు, ఇక్కడ 5 6 వేస్తారు. సో గాట్ ఇట్? అర్లియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అరౌండ్ హౌ మచ్? నౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ 68%. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 68 అనే అవసరం లేదు, కానీ అబౌవ్ 60%, అబౌవ్ 65% అలా యూ కెన్ మెన్షన్ ఓవరాల్ రఫ్ ఫిగర్స్. బట్ ట్రేడ్ డెఫిసిట్ పెరుగుతుందని యూ నీడ్ టు టెల్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ ఇండియా ట్రేడ్ డెఫిసిట్ ఎక్స్పాండ్స్ ఇన్ ద, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ అ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ $1 billion. సో పైన దానిలో ఏమో ట్రేడ్ డెఫిసిట్, హౌ మచ్ ఇస్ ద డెఫిసిట్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ $1 billion? How much? It is something around $180 billion. Trade deficit will be, so India runs a trade deficit of about $84 billion with whom? China tone $84 billion trade deficit lo unna. Got it? So these are the basic facts. You need to substantiate this with your answer. So I've already told you this contingency reserve agency, all those things. So see this new development bank. What are the focus areas of this? These are taken from the website of the, see, clean energy and efficiency, transport infrastructure, just go all those things, nothing much here. So how they are investing, because the question can also be framed like this also. Ante NDB lo ఏ areas lo they are investing అనే దానికి ఇలా కూడా ఫిలిమ్స్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫ్రేమ్ చేయొచ్చు. జస్ట్ గో త్రూ దిస్ పీడిఎఫ్, ఐ విల్ అప్లోడ్ ఇట్. కాబట్టి కొంచెం కష్టపడి జూమ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. సో దెర్ ఈస్ అన్ స్పెషల్, there is a magazine which was launched by this BRICS special, that is called what? Very 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 important one, Ubuntu. There is an OS also, you can call this Ubuntu, but remember Ubuntu. So these are the declaration of it, just go through it in later parts. So Brasilia declaration, Xiamen declaration. So recent one is Johannesburg declaration, New Delhi declaration, all those things related to BRICS, just go through it, nothing much, just remember the names. I don't know whether it is visible or not. It is a pre-YQ prelims question. With reference to the grouping of countries known as BRICS, consider the following statement. First summit, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Brazil lo inda? Russia. South Africa was the last to join the grouping. At the time 2010 లో అది కరెక్టే. సో ఇప్పుడు +6 members, రిమెంబర్ దోస్ నేమ్స్. అలా క్వశ్చన్ ఫ్రేమ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇట్స్ ద ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇది. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ర్యాపిడ్ ఫినాన్సింగ్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ అండ్ ద ర్యాపిడ్ క్రెడిట్ ఫెసిలిటీ ఆర్ రిలేటెడ్ టు విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ లెండింగ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్? ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మానిటరీ ఫండ్. సేమ్ అలానే కంటింజెన్స్ రిజర్వ్ ఏజెన్సీ వాస్ గివెన్ బై హూమ్? బ్రిక్స్, SCO అలా ఇస్తారనమాట. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్? బ్రిక్స్. So this is the another PYQ. Fortal as a declaration recently seen in the related to which of the following BRICS? 3 క్వశ్చన్లు చూసారా? నాట్ ఓన్లీ దిస్, ఇంటర్నేషనల్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆ ఇయర్లో ముందు ఇయర్లో ఉన్న వాటి దాని మీద దే విల్ ఫ్రేమ్ ఏ క్వశ్చన్స్. సో ఐ హావ్ కవర్డ్ యాజ్ మచ్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ ఫ్రమ్ ద BRICS పర్స్పెక్టివ్. సో ఇంతకంటే మీకు ఏమైనా దొరికితే చూడండి, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ అగైన్స్ట్ ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్స్, బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ విచ్ ఐ హావ్ టోల్డ్ యూ. So whatever the question, anybody of you have written today's exam mains? Did you find the last question regarding the BRICS of Indian perspective? So you can use these one things. So I have covered all those things. That's what I am saying. You can use the Indian dimension, you can frame it. China and same thing. All things, for example, oil, even sare, you have some idea, basic importance of all those things, you can easily write those things. Got it? So mostly the question can be framed from the Indian perspective, but we have chosen with the Chinese perspective. So next, so this is the article. What is RBI's new pilot for the frictionless credit? Fine. What is credit? What is credit? Credit అంటే ఏంటి? appu, whatever you take, loan or something, దాని క్రెడిట్ అంటే అంటారు కదా, క్రెడిట్ తీసుకోవడం అంటారు కదా. సో వై దే ఆర్ డెవలపింగ్, it is called as public tech platform for the frictionless credit. Next one, we'll deal regarding these things, agriculture credit problems and what to do. So prior to this, I pick a subtopic of this frictionless credit, that is called the agriculture credit. We'll discuss this, but prior to this, public platform for the frictionless credit. So you know, mostly the farmers or this dairy or small industries or small chinna vallu, they'll find difficult to get what? Institutional credit. The word is what? Institutional credit. And it is also called as formal credit. What? Formal or institutional credit ante bank దగ్గరికి కానీ కోఆపరేటివ్స్ దగ్గరికి కానీ whoever the thing they want వెళ్ళి తీసుకునడం అనేది కొంచెం తక్కువ. ఎందుకంటే దే హ్యావ్ ఎన్ రెడీమేడ్ హ్యాండ్ విత్ అదర్ పీపుల్. For example, money lenders or else middlemen or mahajans or the caste, for example, panchayat head, all those things. Generally, rural perspective, it is there still now. మీకు డబ్బులు కావాలంటే ఇంటి పక్కన వాళ్ళకి వెళ్తారు, యూ డోంట్ గో టు ద బ్యాంక్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్. జనరల్ ఇట్స్ హ్యాపెన్, రైట్? ఏదైనా లోన్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్, mostly if you see, farmers mostly invest in some of the cultural events. Cultural events has a very good role in their lifestyle. They'll invest more in their cultural events. If you see the money, for example, if you want to celebrate this something jatara, you have an emotion with that, right? For example, harvest festival, Sankranti or something, take that Sankranti. If you want to celebrate that Sankranti, you just go to the bank, I want to celebrate that Sankranti, could you please give me the loan? Will they give? Remove that. For example, just go to, there is a home, what you can say, child functions will be there, right? Not barasala, other function. Later phases of a woman, there will be a function, right? If you want to celebrate that function, will you go to the bank and ask for the credit? Will the bank will give? No, right? So there is a everything, if you see, there is a culture related in Indian perspective. India lo, for example, endukante vaatiki cheyali ante you need a money of it, but the bank won't give you. Not only institutional, but every ready-made evaru istaru? Money lenders who are available to them. They generally pick with the exorbitant rates they will give you, right? So that's fine. సో దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే దే గెట్ బాండెడ్ లేబర్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ అయిపోయింది ప్రజెంట్ ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్కి వచ్చేసరికి. సో జనరల్గా, సో దిస్ ఎ పైలట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, దే వాంట్ టు గివ్ సమ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ లోన్స్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కల్చర్ కాకుండా నార్మల్గా రెగ్యులర్గా జరగడానికి ఇలా మనీ లెండర్స్ కాకుండా ఫ్రమ్ ద అదర్స్ హౌ యూ కెన్ గెట్ దిస్ ఫ్రిక్షన్లెస్ క్రెడిట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, బ్యాంక్ వెళ్ళాలంటే యూ నీడ్ టు సబ్మిట్ లాట్స్ ఆఫ్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ to get that credit. For example, you have that agricultural patta with you, or else your Aadhaar details, or your like friends details who need to sign for you, as in what you can say binami or something, not binami, what you can surety. So all these details should be there, but they have different documents. For example, it is one is dealt by the MRO and another is dealt by the some department, some another is dealt by the banks. All those things are there, right? But everything అంటే ఆఖరికి ఇవన్నీ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అన్నీ కలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని చివరికి వెళ్ళేసరికి బ్యాంక్, ఆబ్వియస్లీ, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యూ గో టు ద బ్యాంక్ బై కలెక్టింగ్ ఆల్ దోస్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ టు గెట్ దట్ లోన్, ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఏ కంబర్సమ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఫర్ ఎ ఫార్మర్? వై హీ విల్ టేక్ ఆల్ దోస్ స్టెప్స్? పక్కన ఇంటి దగ్గర ఒక 20 రూపాయలు ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇస్తారంటే హీ విల్ టేక్ ఇట్, రైట్? హీ వోంట్ డూ ఆల్ ద, ఇఫ్ దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈజ్ ఈజీ, హీ మే గో టు దట్ టు సేవ్ దట్ 20 rupees. So it is the main theme of this. They have developed a frictionless, a small pilot project through the mode of KCC. Do you know KCC? Kisan credit card, up to the rupees of 1.6 lakhs. They have given some frictionless credit. It has done the pilot project in the Madhya Pradesh states or something, 2 to 3 states. Got it? So have done, they have worked well, because not like ఈ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అని కాకుండా ఒక డిజిటైజ్డ్ ఫార్మాట్లో చేసుకొని వితౌట్ ఎనీ కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వాట్ యూ కెన్ సే ఫిజికల్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్, త్రూ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ digitization, they have given this 1.6 lakhs by using this Kisan credit card. So it reduces the time delay, everything. This is the theme behind it. So what the RBI wanting is, not RBI, this government, everything want is this one, to reduce this thing, and you need to cater more to the farmers or whoever it may be. This is the main motto behind this. So we'll take a single aspect about this credit which was plaguing our India, that is called what? Agricultural credit, right? This agricultural credit can be generally fine. It is categorized as, we are talking about the institutional mode. Short term, it is up to 12 months. Medium, 12 to 60. Long, greater than 60 months. So there are two things, institutional and non-institutional. Cooperative banks, you know PACs. PACs are called as primary agricultural cooperative societies, where you can get large share in the rural perspective through the PACs. Got it? Next one is banks. So next one, non-institutional money lenders, middlemen and these margins. These are the other non-institutional lenders. So the word, so why they are focusing on this, because institutional credit, why they want to develop this institutional credit, because to develop the concept of social banking. Do you heard a word of this social banking? So ultimately social banking, for example, government enduku ivvali credits? Credit enduku ivvali to this agriculture laborers who I am? So obviously inclusive growth ane daniki, for example, not only the motive of profit or something. So obviously if they give this institutional credit, it will create a ripple effect and the larger good will be saved. For example, it will reduce poverty, right? It will increase GDP. It will increase their nutritional levels. It will develop them. It's not like a growth factor, it's a development factor behind this. So not only concentrating on the profit motive, and if you give this timely frictionless credit, that you can link it with the social banking, so you can develop all those things like decreasing the poverty, all those things. Got it? So the word is called social banking. Remember this word. So what are the problems here? Obviously institutional lackings. These PACs, do you know LDBs? LDBs are called as land development banks. These are all there in the rural perspective. There are some institutional lackings with them. For example, PACs, everybody, like if you go, I need a loan, PACs won't give. They need some, at least a small certificate from your side. Got it from Patta or something. So next one, middleman and money lender. This is a main problem. So next one is what? Cash problem. So next one, financial illiteracy. Red tapeism means, I have already told what about this. Red tapeism means cumbersome process. Ante anni certificates kavala, adi idi prati okkati, time delay will be there. Red tapeism means. Next one, insufficient funds from the formal sector. So next one, inadequate sanctions. So next one, credit catering to the high-end farmers. This is a very great thing which was happening. Endukante they have idea, right? They have awareness. High-end farmers are mostly, for example, institutional credit తీసుకునే వాళ్ళు mostly high-end farmers ఉంటారు. అంటే for example, not the small and medium farmers కాకుండా large farmers ఉంటారు కదా, they will take more loan agriculture because they need to serve their మొత్తం land ఉంది కదా. For example, 15 acres, 20 acres, they have their good number of pattas with them, right? So they obviously get that. So next one is what? Bonded labor. Next one is what? Overdue. Very important. ఒక్కసారి cycle break అయినా సరే bank won't give you again, right? This is another plaguing thing behind it. NPAs చిన్న term లో overdue అంటారు. It's not like a company, right? So remember these points. So what to do for this one? Introduce credit guarantee schemes. So next one, decrease the role of money lenders and margins through the acts or all those things. Next one, monitor Takavi loans and the Kisan credit card, which was done in this frictionless credit. I think this is not a super article or something. It's not like a very important article, I don't know, but they can pick very randomly. Who? So why? Because Ecuadorians reject oil drilling in the Amazon in a historical decision. Why? Because there is a connection with the Indian perspective also. So it is a voice of tribes. If you see the Niamgiri hill case in the Odisha. So Niamgiri, there is a hill tribes. Okay, that tribes are against to the building of this oil refinery in that area. So government has taken decision like Panchayat Raj, for example, the Panchayat Raj, Gram Sabha is the main institution, right? If they are against with it, it's against. Everything has gone like against. So that mining has cancelled by the pressure of these tribes of this one. So this Niamgiri hill case, very very important. You can use it in case studies or something. But same thing, it's a very great step in their thing. So we don't know, right? They are asking some international related current affairs. For example, some war-like situations are happening. So for example, Tigray region, it was asked in the last prelims. Okay. So Kutchi tribes, these are the things they are asking. So I have found it somehow useful. So the tribe names are very very important. Tagaeri and Taromeneni are the tribes recently seen in news belongs to which of the following country? India, Ecuador, Brazil, China. Obviously it is India, na? Ecuador. It's Ecuador. అంటే పొరపాట్లో ఇండియా పెట్టొస్తారని పెట్టరాకని చెప్తున్నా. Got it? So next thing is very very important. It's a map based question. What are the concerns about the drilling in the North Sea? So actually UK లో జరుగుతుంది అనమాట. నార్త్ సీ అనే ఏరియా డ్రిల్ చేసేసి దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ దిస్ ఫాజిల్ ఫ్యూయల్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఆయిల్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్. సో దాని మీద అది నడుస్తుంది. బట్ వీ డోంట్ నీడ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వాట్ వాస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఓవర్ దేర్. సో వీ నీడ్ ఎ మ్యాప్ బేస్డ్ క్వశ్చన్. So based on that only, for example, if you see the last year also, they have asked the question of the Ukraine. What are the bordering countries of the Ukraine? 2023 prelims. So likewise depends on that. We don't know how they may ask a question. Sometimes they have a question on the Mediterranean Sea.
Country between Mediterranean.
Yeah. So alaga adagachu anamata. So I have this found very important for in this week, and they have asked about the Senkaku Islands also. Japan related. Okay. So same thing. Where is it? So North Sea, see the bordering countries are very important. UK, is Ireland a bordering country of North Sea? Remember in the negative side, ante రాంగ్ సైడ్ ఆలోచించండి ఎప్పుడైనా సరే. ఇవి కావు అనుకునే ఎక్కువ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఇవి అవును అనుకునే ఓకే గుర్తుండొచ్చు గుర్తుకు ఇవి కావు అని మ్యాప్ బేస్డ్ ఎప్పుడైనా అలా ట్రై చేయండి. దట్ షుడ్ బి. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే మ్యాప్ బేస్ చేయడానికి క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఆర్ యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మీ ఇష్టం అది. అంటే ఏదైనా కంట్రీస్ అలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలనుకున్నప్పుడు యూనిట్ క్లాక్ వైజ్ కానీ యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ కానీ ట్రై చేయండి. అది చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడానికి ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ ఇట్. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ క్లాక్ స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ నార్వే, రైట్? Next one, Sweden. Sweden is bordering North Sea, right? North Sea. Next one, Denmark. Next one, Germany. Netherlands. Next one, Belgium. France. France unda leda? Very important. Next one, UK. Got it? So ఇవి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఫస్ట్ రౌండ్ ఏంటంటే ఇవి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన కంట్రీస్. It should be in clockwise. How many countries bordering the North Sea? 7. Got it? Is Russia bordering? Ireland bordering? Finland bordering? Remember, 3 countries ఉంటాయి. కన్ఫామ్ 3 countries మ్యాచ్ అవుతాయి అనుకుంటారు. Finland is not bordering with the North Sea. Got it? This is the one type of question they will ask. Bordering countries. Another type of question how they will ask is straits. what is Skagerrak Strait something. It is between Norway and Denmark, lies in North Sea. Next one, Strait of Dover, very, very, very important. You know it, right? Between UK and next one, English Channel. Yeah, very, very important. This is near here. So next, English Channel is a part of, it's connecting between what? North Sea and this Atlantic Ocean. Here Atlantic Ocean will be there, which connects English Channel. Remember, these kind of questions can also frame. One, from the perspective of water bodies, from the perspective of the land bodies. Or else, if they want another frame of questions, they can ask the rivers which was draining through the North Sea. అది ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ లాగా అడగచ్చు. సో ఇలా వచ్చినప్పుడు యూనిట్ టు థింక్ ఇన్ దోస్ డైమెన్షన్స్. సో ఒక్కసారి ఇది వర్క్ చేశారనుకో ఈజీ అయిపోయింది, ఎందుకంటే చాలా కొన్ని లిమిటెడ్ ఉంటాయి, ఈజీగా పిక్ చేయొచ్చు, మనం ఎగ్జామ్లో ఈజీగా ఎస్టిమేట్ చేయొచ్చు. గాట్ ఇట్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆన్సర్? విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ ద బార్డరింగ్ కంట్రీస్ ఆఫ్ ద నార్త్ సీ? నార్వే, ఫిన్లాండ్, డెన్మార్క్, యూకే, స్వీడన్. విచ్ ఈస్ నాట్ దేర్? Finland. Okay, so options ఇలా ఇస్తాడు, A 1 2 3 సంథింగ్, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ వన్ ఆప్షన్ ఏదైనా ఇస్తాడు. వాట్ ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్. సో రీసెంట్ ట్రెండ్ ఏంటంటే 1 ఆప్షన్ ఓన్లీ, 2 ఆప్షన్ ఓన్లీ, 3 ఆప్షన్ ఓన్లీ. ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు ఏమి ఆప్షన్స్ అవుతాయి? 4 ఆప్షన్ ఓన్లీ. ఇఫ్ కమ్ టు దిస్ ఆన్సర్ 4 ఆప్షన్ ఓన్లీ. సో అందుకే ఏంటంటే స్ట్రాంగ్గా తెలుసుకోవాలని చెప్తుంది. దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ యూ. గాట్ ఇట్? ఫైన్, ఐ విల్ కంప్లీట్ దిస్. చాలా ఈజీగా చెప్పేస్తాను, ఏముండదు అక్కడ. Very easy thing. One, health, human health, animal health, environment. సో ఈ మూడు కంబైన్డ్గా కరెక్ట్గా చేస్తేనే ఫ్యూచర్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ సస్టైనబుల్. ఇఫ్ యూ వోంట్ ఫోకస్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ దీస్ బ్రేక్స్, అదర్ చైన్ విల్ బ్రేక్. దట్స్ ద మెయిన్ ఎయిమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్ హెల్త్ అప్రోచ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, AMR, antimicrobial resistance. You know it, right? What is this AMR? For example, okay. So this AMR is the antimicrobial, microbes are there, right? They will get resistance. Whose health will be damaged ultimately? Our health. If our health damage, we obviously damage whose health? Environment. These microbes will come from where? Animals. It's a chain. I'll take in a single aspect, that is called what? Antimicrobial. So next one, food security or pollution. So for example, if you see the one classic example is the COVID, or generally classic example generally called lab grown annaru, but we don't know exactly this lab grown or something. But exactly it is what? Take the classic example of COVID. ఒక దాని నుంచి వచ్చిందని చెప్పారు, బ్యాట్స్ నుంచి వచ్చిందన్నారు. బ్యాట్స్ ఇట్స్ అండ్ జూనోసిస్. సో అల్టిమేట్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ హోమ్? హ్యూమన్. అల్టిమేట్లీ ఇట్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ వాట్? ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్ టుగెదర్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ వన్ హెల్త్ అప్రోచ్. సో ఇవన్నీ బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ద అల్టిమేట్ ఎయిమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్ హెల్త్ అప్రోచ్. సో జస్ట్ విల్ సీ వన్. Endemic zoonotic diseases, neglected tropical diseases, vector-borne diseases, antimicrobial, these are all things. The One Health approach can prevent outbreaks of zoonotic diseases, improves food safety, reduces AMR, protects global health and security. So I'll tell you like 1 to 2 facts, nothing much here. So do you know India has promoting a life? What is life? Lifestyle for environment. So you can mention all those things in this answer also. So these facts are very important. Facts and saavagodutna anukokandi. Don't feel like that, because it's very important. It takes lot of time for us to gather. Main ikkade chaala time padutadi. ఏది గ్యాదర్ చేయాలి, ఏది ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఏది అవసరం అని ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ చేయడానికి ఇంత గ్యాదర్ చేయొచ్చు, బట్ ఎగ్జామ్కి ఈ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ అట్లీస్ట్ సరిపోతాయి. దిస్ వాజ్ ఆల్సో టేకెన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద సైట్ వెబ్సైట్లోంచి, WHO వెబ్సైట్లోంచి పిక్ చేసుకునే ఇవన్నీ. సో 60% ఆఫ్ ఆల్ హ్యూమన్ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ డిసీజెస్ ఆర్ జూనోటిక్ in origin, and some 75% jump species, so cross species. Next one, high impact diseases affect crucial livestock derived foods which contribute 33% of protein and 17% of the calorie intake diets. High impact diseases affect the availability and quality of the terrestrial animal food sources. For example, if you see H1N1, దీన్ని ఏమంటారు, బర్డ్ ఫ్లూ, దాని హెల్త్ డ్యామేజ్ అయితే అల్టిమేట్గా నీ హెల్త్ డ్యామేజ్ అవుతుంది కదా, క్వాలిటీ తగ్గిపోతుంది కదా. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ సపోర్టింగ్ గుడ్ అగ్రికల్చరల్ ప్రాక్టీస్. సో చేయటం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, దెర్ ఈస్ రెడ్యూసింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ పెస్టిసైడ్స్ ఇవన్నీ యూజ్ చేసి తగ్గుతుంది. ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది, ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేసి ఆబ్వియస్గా ఏఎంఆర్ తగ్గిస్తుంది, ఏఎంఆర్ తగ్గిస్తే ఆబ్వియస్గా నీ హెల్త్ పెరుగుతుంది. సో ఇంటర్లింకింగ్ థింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ఇన్ ఏ హై ఇంపాక్ట్ సినారియో ఏఎంఆర్ విల్ షేవ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ షేర్, shave how much, 3.8% of global annual GDP by 2050. So nearly 4% of GDP will consume deni valla antimicrobial resistance valla. So these facts are very important for you. So I have given a small question, just go through and practice it if possible with you. So what is One Health approach? What are the main issues of it? What are the actions taken by the India to fulfill it? I have not covered this action because you need to see, just go through the whatever the things voluntarily. నేను చేయలేదు దీని గురించి, మీరు చేయండి. You need to know from your side. That's it.